بالله من الشيطان اللعين الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا مولانا محمد المصطفى صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم وعلى آله الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين المنتجبين أما بعد فقد قال الله سبحانه وتعالى في القرآن الكريم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم يا أيتها النفس المطمئنة ارجعي إلى ربك راضية مرضية صلى الله عليه محمد. All praise is to Allah who has created us in a perfect manner, and He has awarded us with a treasure of wisdom by which we have been elevated as the perfect creature among all the creatures. As far our discussion is concerned, and I mentioned to you yesterday that during these 10 days we are going to discuss, or I am going to say 40 ahadith from either Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam or and I already mentioned to you 4 of them, because 10 days, 40 divided by 10 is 4. Each day we recite 4 ahadith, we'll get 40. So today's 5th hadith, it is regarding reward of the martyred companions. Okay, now we are not in a situation, or we are not with Imam Hussain alayhi salam. So how can we get the sawab, or the reward of those who martyred, who killed with Imam Hussain alayhi salam? So everyone has the wish to have the same sawab as the martyrs got in the battlefield of Karbala. But unfortunately we were not in that place. So what we can get? The same question was asked to Imam Riza alayhi salam, and he replied, قال الرضا عليه السلام إن سرك أن يكون لك من الثواب مثل ما لمن استشهد مع الحسين فقل متى ما ذكرته يا ليتني كنت معهم فأفوز فوزا عظيما. He says, whoever has a desire to get the reward of those martyred with Imam Hussain alayhi salam, they have to do something. What they have to do? Just they have to say, imagining that as if they are in Karbala with Imam Hussain, as if they are fighting in the battlefield of Karbala, and they have to say, Ya laytani kuntu ma'akum fawzan azima. This is the phrase we usually recite in the Ziyarat Ashura, Ziyarat Warasa and Ziyarat Ashura and everything. It is not a simple thing, I will tell you that. Although we say it in a very easy way, that I wish I would be with Imam Hussain so that I would get the same reward as the martyrs of Karbala. This is the meaning of that. Ya laytani kuntu ma'akum. I wish I would be with those martyrs who killed with Imam Hussain alayhi salam, so that I could get the same reward as they got. It's a very simple phrase, right? But if you go deep into that, you will understand it is not a simple phrase. How hard it is. Just imagine the field of Karbala. Everyone knows that they are so thirsty, they are so hungry, and they are looking what is happening. They are against a huge army, a powerful army with sophisticated weapons. They have a lot of weapons. They have powerful army. They are going to kill, and they are very limited, very few in the camp of Imam Hussain alayhi salam. And it was almost certain that whoever is with Imam Hussain is going to kill. Right? He is going to be killed. So in that situation, are we really be able to fight with Imam Hussain alayhi salam? Just imagine in this world, what if someone, I still remember, I'm sorry, I have to elaborate a little bit today. In one of the occasions, Ayatollah Madahiri, he's a very famous mujtahid in Qom. He, almost every Thursday evening, eve of Friday, when Shabbat Jummah, he used to deliver lectures in the Haram of Masuna Qom. One of those occasions I was attending in that lesson, he said, we all call the reappearance of Imam Zamana. Usually we call, right? And it is recommended and highly emphasized to read the dua for the reappearance of our Imam. Right? So this is the dua faraj. So that he can reappear and we would be with him. And even usually it is recommended to say their last phrase, usually Abbas Bhai and some others they recite, Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad wa ajil faraja. Oh Allah, hasten the reappearance of Imam Zamana. That is the meaning of that. He took that part. He says, we always say, and everyone say that, and we always say this dua. So have you imagined, what if Imam Zamana right now reappears? Are you ready to face it? Are you mentally, are you spiritually, are you ready to be with Imam Zamana? It's a very hard answer, right? So that's why there are so many riwayats in ahadith. They say there are so many thousands of people that keep saying the du'as for the reappearance of Imam Zamana. When Imam Zamana reappears, when Imam Zamana comes, they say this was the time. Imam Zamana has to come. Still I have to do my business. Still I have to earn money. Still I have to do so and so and so and so things. Still many things are uncompleted. This is not the time for Imam Zamana to reappear. We ourselves who were calling the prayers, who were calling the dua for the reappearance of Imam Zamana. When Imam Zamana comes, we turn 180 degrees. Here also it is very easy. It looks to be a very simple phrase. I wish I would be with Imam soldiers so that I would be killed and I would get reward of the martyrs of Karbala. It's a very simple. But while reading, while saying this phrase, keep in mind as if you are in the battlefield of Karbala and the spears, the swords, and a lot of weapons are coming towards you. Do you still face like Zuhair ibn Qayn? Do you still face like Habib ibn Madahir? No, I will go inshallah in the later majalis. How Habib ibn Madahir faced the spears coming towards Imam. Imam was praying namaz, and Habib ibn Madahir was as if a shield for them. Whatever the spear was coming, he was taking it on his chest. Just imagine how brave they were. This is what we want. This is what I wish I would have translated the poetry read by the dear brother Reza. Excellent poetry, I would say. This is the excellent poetry for this age. There are two types of people, two categories came up after the event of Karbala. One category is that just to weep and cry without any aim, without any object. No any object, there's no any particular aim for that. The aim is to cry and weep. Crying and weeping, one category of people, and the others, along with observing the tragedy of Karbala, along with observing the rituals and majalis and matam and crying and weeping, they have taken the emotions and they have taken the words and the teachings of Imam Hussain forward, and they spread the message of Imam Hussain. There's two people. So which one you think logically, which category is better? So this is what I think Josh Maliabadi, right? So Josh Maliabadi has mentioned in his poetry, excellent poetry, I would say. I wish I would translate that one, but unfortunately I cannot at this moment. But let me go to the next hadith. The first hadith I said, whoever wants the reward, he has to mention this phrase, Ya laytani kuntu ma'akum fa'afuza ma'akum fawzan azima. I would be with you so that I would get the reward of what you got in the battlefield of Karbala. And next hadith, the sixth hadith, I would say, the customary of mourning. The people nowadays, they say we have to change the system, we have to change this and that and that. Of course, we have to accommodate all the changes of the world. We have to go along the development and in the systems of the world. But sometimes we have to observe in the same manner. See, one hadith from Imam Jafar Sadiq alayhi salam. His companion or his sahabi, his name was Harun al-Makfuf. He says, "An Abi Harun al-Makfuf قال دخلت على أبي عبد الله فقال لي أنشدني فأنشدته فقال لا كما تنشدون وكما ترفيه عند قبره فأنشدته." That means I went to Imam Jafar Sadiq alayhi salam and he asked me to recite some poetry. I mean the Noha, Salam, whatever we call, it's a poetry. And Imam Jafar Sadiq alayhi salam asked me, that is, he said, Harun al-Makfuf, he says, I recited for him. He said, no, not this way. You recite the way you used to recite beside the shrine of Imam Hussain alayhi salam. See here, what Imam, he says, I changed my tone because Imam was there. I didn't want to weep and cry in the way I used to cry and weep beside the shrine of Imam Hussain. Just because in respect of Imam, I changed my tone, I changed the way I used to recite, and I recited the poetry. Imam said, no, please recite in the way you used to recite the same poetry beside the shrine of Imam Hussain alayhi salam. Dear brothers and sisters, I would say here, the nohas are very important. There's a tradition, this is the tradition we have to observe, we have to keep it. But please, don't make in the way as if it sounds and as if it is someone is singing in a Bollywood or Hollywood songs. It's very sorry to use these words, but unfortunately it is happening. We don't want this rhythm. We want a feel of, hardship, sadness. I don't know exact word, how to translate the riqqat. How to say the riqqat, I don't know exact meaning of to translate in Urdu, in English. But the feel, the deepest feeling of sadness. Once you hear the poetry, the noha, one has to feel that deepest feeling of sadness. This is very important, not the rhythm and not the tone and sound. Well, this is what Imam Jafar al-Islam says in this hadith. Seventh hadith, it is about the reward for reciting the poetries about Imam Hussain alayhi salam. Alhamdulillah, there are so many zakirs, not necessarily he himself has to write the poetry, has to compose the poetry. Even if you are copying from someone, still you are reciting here, definitely they will get the reward. What are the rewards for that? قال الصادق عليه السلام ما من أحد قال في الحسين شعرا فبكى أو أبكى به إلا أوجب الله له الجنة وغفر له. Whoever recites poetry in memory of Imam Hussain alayhi salam, whoever recites the poetry, this is what we call the Noha or Salam or Marsiya, whatever you call, any poetry, whoever recites, and he himself weeps and cries, and makes others to weep and cry, and Allah, definitely I will guarantee you, Allah will reward him with Jannah. And he will forgive, Allah will forgive his sins. Whatever bad deed he did, that will be forgiven, inshallah, by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And one more, the last for today's fourth hadith, and it is the eighth hadith related to Karbala or the Muharram. Again, it is about the people of eulogies and elegies. That is the Noha and Marsiya, the two same thing again. It is also, this hadith is also from Imam Sadiq alayhi salam, and it said, قال الصادق عليه السلام الحمد لله الذي جعل في الناس من يفض إلينا ويمدحنا ويرثي لنا. All praises for Allah who has placed among us the people those who arrive in our presence, eulogizing us and reciting elegies about us. All praises Allah, as you mentioned. And then he says, Ja'ala fi nas. It is worth, the people are worth to be appreciated, to be respected, those who recite the nuhas and marsiyat and salams. Those who read or write or recite the nuhas, salams and these things. These are the very respectful people. They have to be respected and they should be appreciated. Okay, these are the 4 hadiths I mentioned, and let's go to the importance and the topic related to the Muharram. I mentioned some of the terms we use during the majalis, and we come across the Muharram and then the other few Karbala and some other topics, terms. And today let me explain some confusing words. Like we usually use Rasul, you hear that. Sometimes we use Payghambar, sometimes we use the term Nabi, sometimes we use the term Imam. Right. These 4 terms, Nabi, Rasul, Payghambar, Imam. What is the difference between that? The first thing is, Rasul and Payghambar. Rasul is an Arabic term, Payghambar is a Farsi term. The meaning is the same. Rasul is an Arabic term and Payghambar is a Farsi term. What is the meaning? Rasul is a messenger, Risala, a messenger. There is a message who passes the message from one place to another place is called the messenger. So that is Payghambar. Paygam, message, but the one who carries. The carrier of a message as a messenger is Rasul. Nabi is not necessary to carry a message. He has the Naba. Naba, it is extracted from the term Naba, from the letter or from the root word Naba. The Naba means a news, or you can say a khabar, or news, or a message, something. Just he will take that and may be passing or may not be passing. That message or news, he's just taking, and possibly he's passing to others, and possibly he may not be passing to others. That's why we said there are thousands of Nabis who are Nabi for himself, or for his own family, or for his village, or for his town, or for his city, or sometimes to the area. So that's why Nabi is not necessarily for the whole Ummah. The Nabi is only for himself. There were certain Nabis, they Nabi for themselves. They didn't even pass any message to anyone else. There were certain Nabis who were Nabi for his family only. He didn't even pass message out of his family. He was only within the family. There were certain Nabis who were Nabis for the village only, for the clan or for the village only. That is the only thing. But the Rasul is different. Rasul is much a level better than, higher than Nabi. The job of Rasul or the messenger is take the message and pass it to the people. That is his duty and job, Rasul. There are certain Ulul Azm Payghambar, you might have heard this term, the greater messengers, the greater prophets. How many were there? How many were the greater prophets? There were 5. 5 है ना? Ulul Azm Payghambar. Ulul Azm Payghambar 5. ठीक है? They had their own religion. I would say they had their own religion. उनकी अपनी शरीयत हुआ करती. उनको कहते हैं Ulul Azm Payghambar. Ulul Azm Payghambar is the one who has his own set of rules. That is the Ulul Azm Payghambar. And then, what is the difference between Imam and the Rasul? As I said, Ulul Azm Payghambar is the toppest level among the Nabis, among the messengers. Out of all 124,000, 5 of them were at the top, and remaining are at the bottom. And then these 5 had their own set of rules, or own set of ahkam, other rules, set of religious rules. But what is the Imam? Imam cannot create or cannot give any new rule. Make it very clear. Imam cannot give you any new rule, but he will explain the existing rule only. His duty is to preserve, to keep it safe, and explain the rules which was provided by prophets. like 12 Imams, out of all 12 Imams, including Imam Ali alayhi salam, he has not created, has not manipulated even any rule which was given by Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. His duty was to preserve. That's why we say Imam has to be masoom, innocent, and he has to be chosen by Allah, not by ourselves. Because if the Imam is among ourselves, there is a possibility that we may forget something. We may, we play with our emotions sometimes. We may favor someone because he's belong to my family. Maybe he's my son. He's from my family or from my village, from my city, or whatever. I may favor him. So if people chose me, this is the difference, okay, within our Muslim brothers. We believe that Imam has to be chosen by Allah, not by ourselves. Because Imam has to be an innocent and infallible, and he has to be chosen by Allah, so that he can only preserve the commands, the rules, the laws provided by Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. I'm taking a little bit more time today because I have got the permission from the concerned authorities. Salawat ala Muhammad wa ala. Okay, this is the Imam. The Imam's duty and job is to preserve the rules, the set of rules given by and revealed by Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, including Imam Ali alayhi salam till the 12th Imam. It's very logical, and that inshallah will explain. And nowadays also there is in the old days and even nowadays some people they say, why do we need Imam? It's a common question. Why do we need Imam when we already got all the rules? It is already mentioned in Quran. Why do we need Imam? It's a very straightforward question our brothers will ask. Why do we need Imam? Why should we need Imam? See, that's why I said we should be proud of ourselves being Shia. I will tell you. Wow. Why? Because our theology, our system is based on logic. It's totally based on logic. Why we need Imams and also Naib Imam or the Mujtahid, I will explain to you. We are so lucky and we should be proud of ourselves. See, for example, the same thing happened in the Masjid al-Kufa. A person called Amr ibn Awqas or something is there. It's not Waqas or something. I forgot the name. But his name was Amr. I don't know his father's name. Amr, he used to preach in a masjid. He says, why do we need Imam? We don't need any Imam. Why? What for the Imam is? Luckily, in that gathering, there was a student, a very good student of Imam Jafar as-Sadiq alayhi salam. He was present, and his name was Hisham. And Hisham stood up and he went forward and he said, what did you say? And he said, no, why do we need Imam? It is all, these man-made things, and we don't need any Imam. He said, he went in other way. He says, do you have eyes? He said, yes, of course I have eyes. What do you do with the eyes? He says, I used to see with it. My eyes, I have eyes. I see things with my eyes. And then he asked, do you have nose? Yes, I do have nose. He said, what do you do with your nose? He said, I can smell, I can breathe with my smell, with my nose. Then he said, do you have ears? He said, yes, I do have ears. What do you do with the ears? He says, I can hear with my ears. And then he said, do you have skin or a sensory organ that you can feel anything? He says, yes, I do. What's the purpose of that? He said, I can feel whether it's a hard or it's a soft or it's a warm or it's a cold or anything. I can feel with that. He said, do you have brain? It's very funny, right? It's an unrelated question. Something looks like it's something unrelated. He says, do you have brain? He says, yes, of course I do have brain. He asked, what is the purpose and function of the brain? He says, of course, it is the master of all the organs of my body. Without brain, I cannot understand the information. I cannot analyze and cannot process the information taken by different organs. Without brains, I cannot process, I cannot, analyze the information provided by different organs. That is the central processing system. Without brain, these organs are useless. He says this is the function of Iman. We public, the people are different organs of the community, different organs, and they are doing independently. For example, nose is working on independently, eye is working independently, your hand is working independently, ear is working independently. But to see what you hear, it is the work of your brain. Brain processes, and that is the function of brain, to coordinate with different organs the information and the signals received from different organs and process and inform you that it is happening. When you touch something, actually you are touching with your hand. But this hand, it has some sensors. It will transfer the information to your brain, and brain will process that, and then it will return back and it says it is hot, don't touch it. It is cold, don't do something or do something. Right? It is hard, it is soft, whatever. It is the brain's work. It will process all the information. And he says, Hisham says, this is what Imam does. We are all different organs. We will be useless if we don't have the Imam, because all our actions goes to Imam. He will say whether you have done properly or not, whether it is according to the Quran or not, whether it is according to the will and wish of Allah or not. So if one can understand, see, this is the leadership, I would say. I'm summarizing, I'm concluding my today's talk. This is the leadership, the importance of leadership. One has to understand the importance of leadership. Without leadership, we are scattered. We are divided. We don't have power to do anything. This is what nowadays is happening with the Muslim Ummah. We don't have a single leader with whom we can follow his order. We can go forward. And this is what our enemies are doing. They are dividing us and they are separating us from our leaders. You just imagine, just come back only within our Muslim, our Shia community. Just imagine if we had only single leader. How powerful we would be. How powerful we would be. Unfortunately, what is happening? Everybody is coming. No, he will be the leader, he will be the leader, he will be the leader. Wherever you go within a small community, within a small village, there will be 2, 3, 4, 5 people. Everyone is claiming, I am the leader, I am the leader, I am the leader. No, my brothers, this is where we are lagging. This is where we are going back. We have to rethink, we have to think about this. See, our leader is not only just for namaz, not only for the salat, not only for the roza, not only for the hajj, not only for any specific religious rituals. Our leader has to be socio-political, and he has to be a master in almost every field. We have to be advanced, we have to go advanced, we have to be in advanced position, whether it is in economics, whether it is in military, whether it is in politics, whether it is in science and technology, whether it is in any field. Then only we can say we are the followers of Imam Hussain alayhi salam. And inshallah, these majalis is a platform for us to understand the message, the proper message of Imam Hussain. I would again one more time appreciate the poetry recited by Brother Reza. It's the excellent poetry. That is the message. That was the teaching of Imam Hussain. Our beloved poet Josh Maleabadi has just translated into poetry. He has translated into a form of poetry. So inshallah, we hope we'll take the real message of Karbala and we'll follow the footstep of Imam Hussain alayhi salam. Inshallah ta'ala. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Nare Takbir! Allahu Akbar! Nare Risalat! Ya Rasulullah! Nare Adari! Ya Ali Akbari! Nare Salwar!
بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والعاقبة للمتقين والجنة للموحدين والنار للعاصين ثم الصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين سيد النبيين وخاتم النبيين حبيب إله العالمين مولانا بالقاسم المصطفى محمد وعلى الطيبين الطاهرين الغر الميامين الذين أكرم الله عنهم الرزق وطهرهم تطهيرا الحجة الثاني عشر المهدي المنتظر سلامه عليه الذي يمنع الله الأرض به قسطا وعدلا كما ملئ ظلما وجورا أما بعد فقد قال الله الحكيم في كتابه المجيد وهو أصدق القائلين وقوله الحق بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وكونوا مع الصادقين صدق الله العلي العظيم حضرات اکرام قدر میرا موضوع آپ کے پیش نظر ہے اور وہی موضوع مولانا صاحب نے اپنی حدیث کی تشریح کے موقع پر آپ کے بلند حافظوں اور سماعتوں کے ہدیہ کیا. میں بھی بغیر کسی تمہید میں جائے ہوئے اور بلا فصل ہوتے ہوئے مولانا صاحب سے وہیں سے بات شروع کرتا ہوں کیونکہ میرا موضوع اور ٹاپک بھی وہی ہے. امامت و رہبری اہل بیت اور وجود حضرت حجت علیہ الصلوۃ والسلام. امامت یہ کوئی وہ منصب نہیں ہے اور خلافت یہ وہ کوئی منصب نہیں کہ جسے شورا یا کمیٹیوں کے ذریعے سے جو ہے حاصل کیا جا سکے یا امامت جو ہے وہ رشوت کے ذریعے سے حاصل کی جا سکے. مسئلہ یہ نہیں کہ ہم مانتے ہیں نہیں مانتے, وہ والا نہیں مانیں گے جو اللہ کا بھیجا ہوا ہے. منصب امامت میں نے آپ کی خدمت میں کل قرآن اور قرآن کے ساتھ ہی پڑھے. قرآن مجید میں خداوند عالم ارشاد فرما رہا ہے دیکھیں امام کون ہے, قرآن کے ساتھی کون ہے اور امام کون ہوتا ہے. کتاب کے سلسلے میں کہا کہ ولا رتبن ولا یابسین الا فی کتاب مبین. یہ اتنی مرتبہ آپ نے سنی ہوگی آیات مجلس میں. کوئی خشک و تر ایسا نہیں ہے کائنات میں جو کتاب مبین کے اندر نہ ہو. اور دوسری جانب پروردگار عالم کہہ رہا ہے وَكُلَّ شَيْءٍ أَحْصَيْنَاهُ فِي إِمَامٍ مُبِينٍ. میں نے ہر شے کو امام مبین کے اندر رکھ دیا. یعنی خشک و تر کتاب مبین کے اندر تمام